Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you are watching the Exploring Oracle, or the Exploracle for short. So today we will be taking a look at a classic deck. This is the Morgan Greer Tarot. So it's been around for quite some time, but it is new to my collection. So this is published by US Games. Oh, is that right? Yes, US Games. And it comes in a simple tuck box, and you have this little white fold out. So not even a book, but it just has the keywords on each of the suits. And it's been, 1979. So long before, well, actually even before I was born and long before I became interested in tarot, this has been around. So it comes with two title cards. You have the Morgan Greer Tarot and some information about Bill Greer. Okay, so what you'll notice about this deck is that it does feel like it's a lot more zoomed in on the characters. Wait, let me grab my Smith Wade Centennial just for comparison. So it's different in the sense that it's a lot more zoomed in on the characters, like close up on the actual character in the card, which makes it feel, I don't know, like you're a lot more up close and personal. So now I don't know whether I should make like a flip through of the Morgan Greer or if it's a comparison between this and the RWS. But this is a flip through, so we'll focus on the Morgan Greer. I'll be moving it to this side because it's reflecting the light from that side. But I do want to show you the first few cards in comparison with the RWS Centennial. So the Magician. Then you have the High Priestess. So it's definitely a lot more zoomed in on the Morgan Greer. The colors, actually the colors are quite similar. You know, it's warm with a lot of yellows and yellow tones. The Emperor, so it's a different, instead of facing forward, but it's still a lot more close up. Especially for the Hierophant, of course, you'll notice that he's a lot more zoomed in. So probably I'll go through the majors, like a comparison this way, and then we'll focus on the Morgan Greer. The images are very traditional. The Death card. I actually like this Death card. The Devil. So being this up close, it does make you feel like you can get to know them, or you can get to know the archetype a bit more because it feels more personal for some reason. The Moon. And the World. Okay, and then we'll focus on the Morgan Greer. Let me just... Okay, so I zoomed in so that we can take a look at the minors better. As always, feel free to slow down, speed up, or pause if you want to take a closer look at the cards. So the predominant colors in this deck is like blues and yellows. Not exactly something that I'm very drawn to be honest. But I do like how all of the cards feel zoomed in. I really like that perspective, which makes this you know, something different in my collection. There's also a tin version of this deck, and I was actually debating whether to get that or the original size, since I also like tin decks. But for the coloration, I think that one was a little bit more saturated. And, I think I preferred this one when I was checking videos online. But I think this would look good in a spread, actually. I haven't read with this yet. Because I think I mentioned before that part of my bonding process with decks is to do these flip throughs first, just to look at each of the cards one by one. I think it's because when I review these videos, I look at them more closely. I don't know. It's just part of the process. It's my process. And look, it's so much more close up, and it has a different feeling associated with it than what you would normally see if it wasn't this close. And then the Courts of the Pentacles, which again, predominantly yellow. And the King. So I zoomed out so that we can see how this deck shuffles. First let's look at the backs. Pretty stars. It's not completely reversible, but I personally don't read reversals, so that's fine. It's also, again, it's not glossy, but it's not matte, so it's like a satin, I guess that would be closest. I think this would shuffle really well. Pretty standard cardstock for a mass market deck, and I love how it shuffles. Honestly, sometimes I prefer the cardstock of mass market decks as compared to some indie decks, because some of the decks can get, have really thick cardstock, which is hard for me to shuffle. And also good with overhand. Oops. We'll choose one of these cards that fell, so probably the top one to read for this card. The King of Rods, which is the King of Wands. And let's consult the little white fold-out. So as with most little white things, it's mostly just the keywords. So for the King of Rods, we have a noble man, honest, conscientious, and just, spiritually aware and in control. But if it is in the reverse position, it would denote stern but tolerant and sincere. So that's what we get from this little white book, little white fold out, and you do have the Celtic Cross spread. So that is the Morgan Greer Tarot. Again, it's been out for a really long time, but it's still, I'll move it here. It's new to my collection, so that's why I'm doing this flip through. I am excited to work with it. I think it would give me a different perspective compared to my other decks. And as always, if you like this content, please feel free to like or subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!